So we're talking about solving multi-step equations today. And the whole idea behind this is you have to simplify first. Always simplify. So we're going to do some quick review. This is kind of what we've been doing already with distributive property and combining like terms. First, distributive property. Example 1, we have 4 times the quantity x minus 3. Remember, that means we bring our 4 through using multiplication, so it becomes 4 times x minus 12. We should have example 2, 5 times the quantity 2x minus y plus 5. I bring my 5 through using multiplication, so 5 times 2x gives me 10x. 5 times the y gives me a minus 5y. Notice that minus stays, and 5 times 5 is 25. Now we're going to take a look at combining like terms again. So first example, I have 3x plus 14 minus 7x plus 3. I want to combine my constants and combine my variables. So 3x minus 7x gives me negative 4x. 14 plus 3 gives me 17. Example 2, we have 19x minus 5y plus 4 minus 12 minus 5x plus y. I want to get my x's together, my y's together, and my constant terms. So 19x minus 5x gives me 14x. Negative 5y plus y gives me negative 4y. And 4 minus 12 gives me negative 8. That should be the end of our review. Now we're going to solve multi-step equations. First example, 2 times the quantity 6x minus 10 equals 16. So the first thing we have to do is that distributive property. This is the simplifying. So I multiply my 2 through, and I get 12x minus 20 equals 16. Now it's just a two-step equation. I get rid of my minus 20 first. I have to do the opposite, so I add 20 on both sides. That leaves me with 12x equals 36. 36 from 16 plus 20. Remember, 12x means 12 times x. The opposite of times is division. So I divide on both sides by 12. That leaves me with x on the left, and 36 divided by 12 means that x equals 3. We want to check our answer. We do this by plugging 3 in wherever we see x. So it becomes 2 times the quantity, 6 times 3, minus 10. If we did everything right, it should equal 16. This is where I do order of operations. So I'm going to do what's in the parentheses first. So 6 times 3 gives me 18. So it's 2 times the quantity, 18 minus 10. I still have to simplify in this parentheses. So 18 minus 10 gives me 8. 2 times 8, that's going to be 16. So my answer is correct. X equals 3. Awesome. Let's take a look at example 2. So this problem is 8y minus 6y minus 25 equals negative 35. I need to combine my like terms here. That's going to be my 8y minus 6y. So 8y minus 6y is 2y minus 25, and it equals negative 35. So again, here I've created a two-step equation. So I need to get rid of my minus 25 first. So I'm going to add 25 on both sides. On the left, that leaves me with 2y equals negative 10. Remember that 2y means 2 times y. I do the opposite of multiplication, which is division. So I divide on both sides by 2. And that gives me y equals negative 5. I need to check my answer. So I plug in negative 5 wherever I saw y. Always go back to your original equation, because that way you haven't made any mistakes with it. So it becomes 8 times negative 5 minus 6 times negative 5 minus 25. It should equal negative 35. So 8 times negative 5 gives me negative 40. Negative 6 times negative 5 gives me a positive 30 minus 25. So negative 40 plus 30, moving left to right, gives me negative 10 minus 25. And that equals negative 35. I'm going to combine my like terms on the left. Negative 10 minus 25 gives me negative 35. That's what I wanted. So my answer is correct. Awesome. Example 3. I have negative 3 times the quantity x plus 2 plus 5x equals negative 9. So here I have to do two things. I have to distribute my negative 3, and then I'm going to combine like terms before I even think about solving. So I bring my negative 3 through with multiplication. So it becomes negative 3x plus negative 6. I still have that 5x. So now I want to combine my like terms. My negative 3x and my 5x are going to come together. So they come together to give me 2x plus negative 6 equals negative 9. Now I have a two-step equation. I want to get rid of my negative 6 first, so I'm going to add 6 on both sides. It's the opposite. That leaves me with 2x equals negative 3. 2x means 2 times x, so I do the opposite. I divide by 2, and then I get x equals negative 3 halves. It's a fraction. Sometimes we're worried when we get fractions, so let's check our work. I'm going to check my answer by plugging in. So it becomes negative 3 times the quantity negative 3 halves plus 2 plus 5 times negative 3 halves. And if I did everything right, that'll simplify to negative 9. So I'm going to simplify what's in the parentheses first. My negative 3 halves plus 2 becomes negative 3 times 1 half plus 5 times negative 3 halves should equal negative 9. So now I'm going to multiply. Negative 3 times 1 half gives me negative 3 halves. 5 times negative 3 halves gives me negative 15 halves. I'm going to add these together. They have the same denominator, so that's easy. Negative 3 halves plus negative 15 halves gives me negative 18 halves. Negative 18 halves, if I simplify, it's negative 9. So negative 9 equals negative 9. My answer is correct. X equals negative 3 halves. So now you're going to try these. So we have problem 1. 5 times the quantity 2x plus 7 equals 15. Problem 2. 7y plus 13 minus 10y minus 20 equals negative 16. Problem 3, 0.5 times the quantity 4 minus 6x minus 8x equals negative 119. And problem 4, negative 6 times the quantity 8x minus 3 equals 13. I would go ahead and pause this here so you have time to go ahead and solve. And then press play once you have your answers so you can check those. So let's check answers. For number 1, you should have gotten x equals negative 2. For number 2, you should have gotten y equals 3. For number 3, x equals 11. And for number 4, z equals 1/8. If you didn't get those answers, go back and look and see if you can find the mistake you made. It's probably something really tiny with a negative or with combining like terms incorrectly. It's a really good practice to look for your mistake because if you can find it, that makes you a stronger math student. If you still have questions, please go ahead and watch the video again. You'll see if you catch anything else. Check out the other resources on my website, and you can always see me or Mr. Ibanez before or after school. We love questions. Just make sure you're asking them. And that's it.